What are some like best signings ever or worst signings ever?
I mean, probably the best signing ever was Penrith Panthers getting Ivan Cleary, which resulted in them getting Nathan Cleary and 4 premierships and 5 grand finals. Probably a few more to come as well. I feel like that's the greatest one. You look back at the Warriors, just think talking Warriors, and the worst signings, one of them, great podcaster, one of the nicest guys that I met when he came up to me, and when I met him, when I went up to him in Magic Ground, lovely guy, bloke in a bar, dead in Kemp, but he was a young guy. I mean, the Warriors probably ruined his career, arguably. Come from the Broncos, and he was supposed to be this unbelievable winger who was a great kicker, and look, he's achieved far more than I ever will in my career, but he came over here, which is a bust, and he ended up playing for the Otahuhu Leopards, which is like playing for like the local rugby league team out in like South Auckland. So interesting, and he was a bit of a bust. Also, another international player that came to the Warriors didn't do well, Sam Tompkins. Who was still a great rugby league player, and he just didn't work out well. I mean, there's been quite a few of the Warriors. We tend to sort of ruin careers and that, but those are definitely the two that stand out to me as the worst. How about yourself?
I almost just want to sit here for the rest of the podcast and just name Bulldog players that were bust, because that like 2018 to 2023 era of the Bulldogs was something else. I will say best signing. This is almost like you can mount such a strong case for. I'm going to throw out 2, and they're very hard to argue with. The first one I'm going to throw out, Cooper Cronk for the Roosters.
As the best?
As the best, yes. This isn't worse. No, this is best.
I was going to say, he literally won them a title with a broken arm.
He wins 2 comps and retires.
Yeah.
He had 100% strike rate. He had 100% strike rate in terms of winning premierships at the Roosters. I think he ended his career winning 3 in a row and 4 grand finals in a row. Just they signed him to win a comp, and they won 2 comps. I think that's such a good signing, especially just for a short period. Back end of his career. And then another one, which is more of a long-term one, Jonathan Thurston to the Cowboys.
Yes.
They sign him in 04, like for the following season. He wins the Dally M in 05, wins them a premiership 10 years later, their only premiership. I think that was just a masterstroke.
Yeah, imagine if he had been at the Bulldogs. Imagine if he'd have stuck around there. But because he won the premiership in 2004 and then gave his ring to Steve Price.
Warriors and Bulldogs legend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's...
signed the game. I should have pointed that out last week when you were looking at it. I was that's signed by Steve Price.
He was a great man, Steve Price. He'd be one of the better Warriors signings as well. I mean, they've had, it kind of blanks my mind.
The second coming of Sean Johnson comes to mind as like...
Yeah, true.
You can make an argument for it.
Yeah, that would be up there as well when he came back and was on fire in 2023. But
robbed of a Dally M.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, someone like Mitch Barnett in recent times is actually a really good signing, because he's now the leader of the Warriors, and he's just totally... seems like one of their backbones, like the rocks at the side. And he was kind of in a weird position. He'd just been... When the day we signed him was like the day after he got suspended for about 2 months for elbowing someone in the head over for the Knights. And like he's been really good in recent times. But I'm trying to think of in general players like those two you named it. Those are some of the greatest signings of all time.
You're trying to think of like Smokies, like underrated ones.
Yeah, I mean even low key for the Bulldogs, or not even low key. Josh Curran to the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Like what he's done in the last year. Credit to the Bulldogs.
I was gonna say if we're talking like all time for like Bulldogs. At the moment, it's Terry Lamb as our club's greatest signing. Literally, like our best player ever, Hall of Famer, came from the Magpies, won so many comps for us. And Stephen Crichton, I was going to say, I think he could rival Terry Lamb.
Definitely.
If Critter wins us a comp, I think it's very hard to argue against in the modern era, coming and breaking such a long premiership drought for a club that's just usually in the past just needs success and like comes in, captains the side straight into finals. I think he could very well become our best ever signing. Another one for the Warriors,
Kane Evans.
I was going to say, this is like an not obvious, but like a high profile one. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant. And then, I mean, when he came in 2018, Dally M, he still was a great player. But another one that I actually forgot, and I would actually argue this is the Warriors' best ever signing, James Maloney.
Yeah, that's a shout.
When they picked him up, he was running around Storm Reserve grade, and then picked him up. Ivan Cleary coached him, and that was the same year that we made the grand final, 2011. James Maloney alongside Sean Johnson fully took us there, and then pretty much after that they didn't want James Maloney and they didn't want Ivan Cleary, so they got rid of those two. Maloney goes on to win premiership with the Sharks, with the Roosters as well, I'm pretty sure.
I think so,
and just have a great career. So getting rid of him and getting rid of Ivan Cleary, two of the biggest mistakes the Warriors ever made. But he was a great signing.
Yeah. And then just on some bad ones, because I just need to get it off my chest. Shout out to Aaron Woods, who I don't know if you've bumped into at your work, but
he's a great guy. I haven't met him personally yet, but I've only ever heard great things about Aaron Woods, and I think he listens to this podcast as well. So
I hope so. Well, I'm about to give him one of the great raps as well as one of the, because I did an internship at Triple M last year, and before I'd met Aaron Woods, obviously he signed with the Bulldogs in 2018, played a month or two, and then they let him go. I think I don't know how much he was on, but it's known and he'll admit this, Bulldog fans don't like him because it was just such a dud signing, and I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but just fan perspective, dud signing, and he admits it was the worst decision of his life to join the Bulldogs. It was bad for everyone, but so heading in and having not met him, I was always a bit off him just as a Bulldogs fan, biased big Bulldogs fan. Didn't really like him because of that. I reckon within 10 seconds of meeting him,
absolute legend,
bro, he's the nicest bloke ever. They say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Don't meet your enemies. Because Aaron Woods is literally one of the greatest blokes of all time. I cannot speak highly enough of him. And I'm not just saying this because maybe he listens to Orange Peelers. Genuinely, I tell this to everyone of I went home from work that day and I was just telling all of my friends and family, just whoever, I'm Aaron Woods is the nicest guy ever. I can't hate him.
Yeah.
And that was after meeting him once. And then you meet him, you're seeing him once a week. Literally just the nicest guy. I'd love to have him on Orange Peelers. If you're watching, you want to come on, Woodsy, I'd love to have him on.
Mate, get him on. I'm sure.
Yeah. I can't speak, he's just the nicest bloke ever. And I almost don't want to put him as one of the Bulldogs' worst ever signings just because of greatest bloke. If you're a Dogs fan and you hate Aaron Woods because of 2018.
Change your perspective.
Change your mind. Change your perspective. Because if you meet him, you're going to regret all of your actions because he's just the top, most stand-up bloke ever. So that's my rap for Aaron Woods. Yeah, but also dud signing in 2018.
I love it.
And the haircut as well.
Yeah.
That was the main issue, I think. And he'll probably admit that as well. The Lord Farquaad haircut that he was sporting in 2018.
Well. Yeah, well, there's just some of the great signings, some of the worst signings.
Shout out to Dylan Napa as well.
Yeah.
That's our worst. Or Michael Leisha.